Good morning. Let's explore the 11th Homage to Tare. Homage to you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors, with your fierce frown and vibrating whom you bring freedom from all poverty. Let's break that down. Let's look at the first couplet. Homage to you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. Buddhism did not manifest in a vacuum. Buddhism came to this plane at this time in northern India approximately 3 millennia ago. And, I guess it'd be more correct to say about 26 centuries ago. So here's the deal. In the environment, there were many religions. Hinduism has never been codified in just one religion, but it's basically an umbrella for many, many, many different religions, sometimes sharing the same nomenclature, but not always. It also includes many forms of shamanistic religion that are indigenous to many places, including India, China, Tibet, Bhutan, Nepal, and the like. It's the latter that I wish to address right now, the shamanistic influences. When we read the first couplet, homage to you with power to invoke the assembly of local protectors. Protectors here refers to earthbound spirits. Some were malicious, and some were benign, and some were downright benevolent. Some were benevolent generally, and some were benevolent specifically to people who practiced Buddha's teachings. Now, it can be a huge distraction to try to negotiate and coerce and propitiate the blessings of numerous earthbound deities. So we have the cute idea of one-stop shopping. You present your need to Tara, and she presents your needs to the appropriate earthbound spirit in the appropriate manner. In other words, let's pretend you were an author. That would make Tara your agent. That way you can go on being an artist, and you can leave the business up to the business expert. Same idea here. And the motive behind this is not just, superficially you could say, well, that makes more sense, that's more efficient. But that way we're just free to practice the Dharma, to learn the Dharma, to apply the Dharma rigorously to our lives, and to be transformed by it. That's our primary job. Everything else in our life either serves to support that or detract from that. Our health, our wealth, our relationships, our emotional well-being. Those things either serve to enhance our Dharma practice or sabotage our Dharma practice. And so we take when it comes to, there's 4 primary categories of supernatural powers. There's increasing, pacifying, controlling, and wrathful actions. So when it comes to pacifying illness, or sorrow, or misfortune, or poverty, or increasing health and wealth and happiness and good fortune, we really want to. It would be far too easy and deeply unfortunate if we allowed ourselves to be seduced by what Nagarjuna described as the 8 worldly concerns, just being obsessed with greed and hate concerning our material needs. We all have material needs, and they are legitimate. We want to have a very balanced approach to them. Let's face it, there's a wonderful saying that I was taught by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche that says, craving is like a hungry dog. Given a chance, a dog will eat himself to death. A dog does not say, well, I've had enough, I can go lie down and sleep for a while. No. He says, I'm going to eat and eat and eat until there's no more food, and if I die, then I die. That's the way a dog is programmed. That's the way a dog is wired. hunger. So there is a type of craving that can never be satisfied, whether it's sexual partners or emotional needs or wealth or food or creature comforts. There's no such thing as enough. And so what we do is we need to recognize our legitimate needs and strive to have them met, but with the eye that there is such a thing as enough. And our job on earth is not to impress Robin Leach and make it on to the next episode of Lifestyles on the Rich and Famous, but to simply have enough to be able to practice the Dharma, be a responsible partner or parent or pet owner, and be of service to others. And we don't need, some people say, I'm not going to be of service to others, so I'll have enough money to do a huge amount of good. And that's nothing more than a spiritual sounding justification. Who can forget, when you look at the Christian New Testament, the Synoptic Gospels, the story of the widow's mite? There's a very poor widow who gave a little bit, but it was, for her, it was a huge gift. And the thing is, if you do what you can, you'll always do what you can. If you wait to do what you can, you'll never do much. I know a monk who prefers to remain nameless. He savors his anonymity. He is really, really poor, but he always carries a single in his wallet. And that single is just for the homeless when they come up to him and ask him for money. And he's just Johnny on the spot. He's like, sure, here you go. And if he has time before they scurry off, he gives them a blessing and says, for every penny you spend, may 100 more find you. And if he has a chance before they wander off, he'll give them either the money or the 10-syllable mantra. My point is this: no matter how poor you are, you still have something to share. If all you have is a piece of bread, you can pull off a pinch and share it with someone else. So now let's turn our attention to the second couplet. You, with your fierce frown and vibrating hum, you bring freedom from all poverty. And many great writers have mentioned that this is not just limited to financial poverty. It's also related to financial, emotional, dharmic poverty, so that you can receive the well-being you require, the health you require, the finances you require, the teachers you require, the teachings you require, all that kind of good stuff. And so look at that third line, with your fierce frown and vibrating hum. And what I'm thinking about here is the protective mother. And for me, the archetypical example of this would be Sigourney Weaver's character in the second Alien movie, when she confronts the queen alien and says, "Get away from her, you bitch!" No one but Sigourney Weaver could deliver that line. Sci-fi geeks around the world love Sigourney Weaver. But that's a type of loving ferocity that we can attribute to Tade. And of course, I just want to remind you that I'm not taking the fundamentalist perspective where you have to believe these things. I'm offering you the liberal option where you simply say, these are really fun, empowering possibilities to explore. Let's play with them and see how they affect us. Let's recite this set of 21 homages once every morning, once every night, for 6 consecutive days. And notice the effect. If it's positive, let's make it part of our life. If it's not positive, well, there's other tools to play with. And here's the cool thing. A lot of people say, well, you know, Lama Jigme, here's the deal. I'm a busy man. I don't got time. I got desire, but I don't got time. The answer is, that's okay. Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche promised that if you have the desire to do a Dharma practice, but at the time, cherish that desire, and eventually, simply through the good karma generated by merely desiring to practice the Dharma, things will begin to shift in our life. and we'll have more time. And I don't mean it in a sick, fearful, sort of a monkey paws sort of way. Did you read that dreadful story in junior high? I did. It's a horrible story. An elderly couple received the talisman in the mail of a desiccated or dried out monkey's paw. And it said that if you make a wish on the monkey's paw, you'll get what you want. And so they made a one wish, which was for more money, and then there was a knock on the door, and there was their son's boss, who said their son had just died in a gruesome accident, and they were going to receive a lump sum of insurance money. So they got their answered prayer, but in the worst possible way. So this is not that. This is not. This is not saying, oh Buddhas far and near, please make room in my life to practice Dharma, and then they take away all the good things out of your life. Ha ha! Now you have time to practice Dharma. No, it's not like that at all. These beings are as powerful and as wise as they are loving. Okay. So let's wrap our minds around the idea that these are not some fiendish demons come to harm us. These are wise, loving, powerful beings come to benefit us. And so they answer our prayers, you guessed it, in the most wonderful way. I guess that's 4 words. In the most wonderful way. I guess that's 5 words. You get the idea. I'm not sure if you're as old as me, but if you are, in the 80s there was a song called Safety Dance. And the inference was, don't worry, not all concerts have mosh pits. It can be safe to dance. And I'm telling you, it's safe to treasure the desire to have more abundance. Well, whether it's abundance of time and energy to practice the Dharma, or an abundance of wealth to practice the Dharma, or abundance of whatever you require. It's safe to ask for these things, or to infer them simply through the propitiation of the 21 tattas. Having said that, I thank you for your time and your kind attention. Now let me take a moment here. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. So I want to take a moment here to remind you to subscribe. Push the subscribe button. I want to remind you to push the like button and the share button. And after you share that, you'll get a chance to click a Twitter button and a Facebook button. Share it with your friends. And of course, I want to remind you to participate in the next series of weekly webinars. Until next we speak, may you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Tade Tu Tade Ture Soha.